Lions, Packers. This game is at Lambeau Field. This game is for the division. And there just seems like there's so much going into this game, even though we're halfway through the season. Still a lot of ball to play. But for the NFC North, these two teams are basically at the top. You know, the Bears have been making a push. The Vikings are making a push as well. But it's seemingly going to be, a rat race for this division. This is a huge game that affects all four teams in that division. Lions are beating the brakes off of people right now. Some of those wins are at home in the dome, but you can't ignore it. So they are red hot right now. Their offense is rolling. Their defense looks pretty good. They did lose Aiden Hutchinson a couple weeks ago. Now you flip it over to the Packers. They get the home nod this week. However, Jordan Love, questionable with a groin injury. Not sure what his status is going to be, but hopefully he can play. I would love to see these two teams play with, as much starters healthy as possible. But with that information, before I get into the model projection and the numbers, Beach, what's your thoughts about this game? If Jordan Love plays, let's operate under the assumption of Jordan Love plays and then kind of give our thoughts if Malik Willis plays as well. But let's operate under that assumption first if Jordan Love plays. What's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, well, I have some insider information because I, as a professional athlete, know what it's like to deal with a groin injury, and it sucks. So, and I didn't have 300-pound people trying to tackle me with it. Even if he does play, though, I mean, the Lions are firing on all cylinders. They can score in whatever way they want. They've got offensive linemen eligible, and they can do whatever they want. I honestly am going to lean towards Jordan Love not playing. They have the bye the week after. And so if Malik Willis comes out there, I think the Lions will win. I mean, he's managed it okay, but they're not the same without Jordan Love. And even with Jordan Love in there, he's going to be a little hobbled. So I do like the Lions to win this game, even though it's at Lambeau, to remain the king of the North. And what's the spread? 3.5?
The spread's 3.5 for the Lions right now. The model projections are sitting around Lions -4. So
I'm going to agree with Scarlett. I'm going to agree.
Okay. Yeah.
I like the Lions to cover that. I think that right now they are the hottest team in football, and they've been knocking kids out.
Yeah, they definitely agree with you there about being the hottest team in football. Going to Lambeau is no easy feat, no matter who the quarterback is. So I'll go ahead and start off with that. Statistically speaking, there are a couple things that stick out to me, specifically, like you mentioned, the red-hot Detroit offense. They are 4th overall in passing yards per game, 4th overall in rushing yards per game. Now, Green Bay, on the flip side, they're pretty good against the run. They're 8th overall in rushing yards per game allowed, only allowing 110 yards per game on the ground. But in the passing game, that's where you can really attack this team. Even though Jair Alexander's been on the field and healthy, they're still kind of hemorrhaging yards in the passing game. Detroit's offense, they're 4th overall in passing yards per game, averaging 275 yards per game, whereas the Green Bay defense, they're giving up close to that number as well. So now, this defense can be good. They have the pieces to be good, and some of the advanced units actually are a bit gray as well. They're 6th overall in EPA per play allowed, which is great. Green Bay defense, that is, but 26th overall in success rate allowed, and that kind of bodes not well against the Detroit Lions team, who is 3rd overall in success rate on the offensive side of the ball, and they can just grind you down, control the game, control the clock, and we expect Sonic and Knuckles, David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, to kind of have their way, albeit the strong rushing defense for the Packers. Not only that, but that rushing game, that rushing attack, paired with Ben Johnson's aggressive play calling, I think it's just going to open up the doors for this Detroit offense to attack the weak secondary over in Green Bay. Now, Green Bay's offense is really efficient both with Jordan Love and without. Malik Willis has actually been one of the more efficient quarterbacks when he's been in. Surprisingly, he's only been there for a couple games now. He was traded like week 2 of the season, week 1 maybe. But Green Bay offense, really, really strong nonetheless. Surprisingly, they've been a team that is actually phenomenal in the rushing game. They're averaging 167 yards on the ground. That's best for 2nd in the league. However, Beach, the Detroit Lion defense, what they're best at? Stopping the run. So 3rd overall in rushing yards per game allowed for the Detroit defense, only giving up 83 yards per game on the ground. I mean, that's going to be tough, especially for a 1-2 running duo in Malik Willis and Josh Jacobs. So it's kind of a very inopportune moment for Malik Willis to hop right back in the saddle because, he's best when the running game is turning out yards, when him and Josh Jacobs are utilizing the read option really well, it opens up the passing game. But given that this Detroit defense is so strong against the run, I think they're going to kind of clamp them up a little bit, in my personal opinion. Again, Lambeau is not an easy place to play, but I'm going to have to ride my projections and go with the Lions here, just given the scenario, given the pairing with this Detroit defense against this Green Bay offense.
Because of Malik Willis's passing limitedness, would you load the box? Or would you not?
I would keep doing what I'm doing if I'm Detroit. I mean, obviously, teams, they game plan like specifically for other offenses. Of course, they're professionals. This is their job. They're the best to ever do it. So they're going to walk in there with a game plan specific to Green Bay, whether it's for Malik Willis or for Jordan Love. They're going to have a plan for both. Now, Malik Willis has actually shown to have excelled in the passing game over the past few weeks. I mean, look at the last plays and, the last few moments of the Jaguars game this week. He had a dot to Jayden Reed to kind of put the icing on the cake for that game. So I don't think you necessarily load up the box. I do think you tempt him into forcing them to win that game under Malik Willis's arm. I think you absolutely, step up, you try and do your thing, you stop the run. And I think you don't fully load the box, but, I think you absolutely, force them to win this game by making Malik Willis throw, and that's not to say he's a bad passer. He's shown progress, but if that was the Lions, that would be my game plan, given how much I trust my rush defense. So
last thing I'll say is I think this game is like Jared Goff's have a great year, like an insane year. He's throwing, I think, over 75%. Yeah,
MVP.
So this game's going to come down to him. I know he has the Lions have 13 dome games this year. Well, this is
14,
not.
I think, actually.
This is not, and it isn't Lambeau. I mean, it shouldn't. The weather shouldn't be crazy, but I mean, you never know. But if it is, and if Jared can't handle the crowd, then who knows? But I think it comes down. I think it comes down to that.
All right. Well, hey, it looks like we're both on the same side here, taking the chalk with the Lions. But I'm taking the Lions. I'm not confidently taking the Lions, but I think they come out there with a win, given the implications for the conference. But this game is going to be fun, and I think the Packers are going to come out swinging much harder than a lot of, the casual public is going to anticipate, especially if they are without Jordan Love. So that should be a fun one. A lot of conference, a lot of division implications on the line for that game, especially as they start converging on the end of the season and playoffs on the line.